Hello, YouTube. We started Call of Cthulhu again. I got my lighter out while I was in this little warehouse, and I found this cogwheel here.
An old cogwheel. Rusty, but in working order.
Thank you. Yeah, I had to go do some other things. The sailors can also get the bootleggers to move away. So that's good. I've got the tick now, so it's okay. Get my lighter out, apparently. Oh, my lighter away. Nope. Triangle. Okay. Yeah, I had to restart a little bit. So I just kind of went.
I could use this old winch to lift the grating.
Some bits beforehand. To get the sailors to get rid of the bootleggers, you need to.
Looks like everything is in its place. All that's left is to try to turn this handle.
Muscles. You've got muscles, come on.
Damn, I broke it.
Fuck's sake. That didn't work. Cool. Rightio. So sailors it is. I'm assuming also you could, if you had good lock picking kind of stuff, you could get through.
Well, well. A little mouse has got lost on our turf. You're not only inquisitive, you're also stupid. What gave you the crazy idea to come onto my turf?
One of these two.
Your turf? That's news to me.
For a guy who has no idea, you've been doing a fair bit of poking around. My men saw you staking out the Hawkins warehouse.
Is that against the law?
I'm no idiot, detective. I'll tell you how things work around here. I decide who comes in and who stays out. And anyone who doesn't respect my rules, I punish them.
Is your name Kat?
What of it?
Maybe we can come to an understanding.
Maybe. Or maybe not.
The walls.
Get this joker out of here. He might have a little trouble walking on his own.
Oh, I'm getting careless. I didn't see that coming. If I want to get into this warehouse, I'm gonna have to deal with her.
Right.
Get us in trouble. You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming.
You're back again. What can I do for you?
Need some help with, nope.
I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
This is annoying. Oops. I didn't do a little jig. Shoo, shoo, shoo.
You again. What can I get you?
Let's say I want to buy a bottle from you.
Choice is yours. Everything's on sale.
How much for a bottle of whiskey?
$5.
I guess I'm not desperate.
I'm not judging you.
That'll be all for now.
So I'll go with this option, I guess.
That's no way to treat an omen. Oh, yeah? He's gonna get us into trouble.
So, have you got what we asked you for?
Look what I've got.
You're a good guy, you. Follow me. Cheers, you jackass.
I don't feel well.
Hey, where are you going?
Say that again. I hope for your sake that I didn't hear it.
Go sneak around.
Let's see.
Oh, please get me in here.
Perfect.
Nice.
Oh, this place stinks.
The other one I was thinking
What is the
that-
connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case? Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? Can't sleep. I know how that feels. Le Petit Parisien. Who might keep a news clipping about Sarah Hawkins? Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings? What is this picture of Charles and Sarah Hawkins doing here? It smells as bad as it looks. The glass is shattered, like someone smashed it. Was it before or after the removal of these bandages?
Officially unused since Charles Hawkins' death. This warehouse recently housed a Cladston resident. Signs of life attest to the fact. The presence of blood-stained bandages must also be noted, probably removed from the wound, as well as pills, painkillers, and sleeping pills. Moreover, the occupant seems to be obsessed with Sarah Hawkins, as attested by the presence of several documents contained to the artist's life, photography, press cuttings. But it is the discovery of particularly charred painting recognized by Officer Bradley as having come from the Hawkins mansion that allows all doubts to be lifted as to the links between the contents of this building and the Hawkins case. People. Back up in there. Psychology stuff. I want to get some talking abilities. Yeah, sure. Yes, I'm fine with that.
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! The Hawkins case has been wound up. Let the dead rest in peace.
Wound up? You mean messed up?
Dog. We don't take no lessons from the likes of you. We do our job carefully and fairly. No stone was left unturned.
Really? Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it.
It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why, you?
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
I thought I'd straightened you out, mister. I am disappointed, but we'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge.
Yeah, I was right.
You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
Pierce managed to get into the warehouse. The place thought to be abandoned revealed some surprises. Signs of recent occupation as well as partly charred painting. Interpreted in his searchings by Officer Bradley, Pierce convinced him to join. Interrupted his investigation. The police officer is willing to drive the detective to the Hawkins mansion. Into madness. What a gloomy place. Surely there'll be some trees. With greenery. Caretaker, Simon.
Well, here we are. Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
Interesting.
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
More questions.
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family. So he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way, he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
You won't get me to believe that it looked any better 3 months ago.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
It's got nothing to do with Charles Hawkins' debts.
Ha! You've already begun to nose around, it would seem. So, since you already know it, the Hawkins family couldn't afford the upkeep of this house. It remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wager it was Charles Hawkins' travels. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
One more.
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though, he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Why not? You can help.
Right. Let's go.
Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined, but the architecture seems too recent. The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh. Charles Hawkins' grave. Who could have done this?
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the mansion.
Please give me a minute. I didn't expect to set foot back here after the burial. What kind of deranged individual would defile this sanctuary? And steal a burnt painting? I don't see Silas doing such a thing. Let alone allowing it. Even that broad baker is above that. Lord,
Poor kid.
have pity on this poor family.
I figure a well carved from wood. It's the sort of toy the sailor gives to the children.
Poor kid. I'll have to find another entrance. This entrance is still in use.
Whoa!
Whoa!
You were trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them. Dump them into the ocean.
Whoa! You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
You haven't forgiven yourself. You stay here to honor the memory of the deceased.
That's true. I want no more violence. No more tragedy.
It's painful to be the last one left.
You don't know how right you are. Understood. I'm listening.
The police report describes a domestic accident, but Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
No, I can't let you in. The mansion isn't safe.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked, and I make sure it stays that way.
No one lives in the mansion, and you don't take care of it anymore. If you have a good reason to be here, I'm listening.
There's vermin. I keep an eye out.
Vermin?
Yeah, that's it, vermin.
Right. This is what we're going to do. I go inside, and I promise that I'll hunt vermin. Okay with you?
I'm not sure.
If there's nothing else to fear, you can give me that key.
Right. Take the key and do what you have to do. Go on, then. Just to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
Pierce, shall we enter? Now that you've finished your fun and games with Silas, we can perhaps inspect the mansion.
You're right. Let's go.
Yeah, it would have been nice if you came, but anyway, cool.
Let's take a look inside.
I'm with you.
Pierce and Officer Bradley explore the gardens of the Hawkins mansion. The family lies in the graveyard of the property, guarded by Silas Winchester. The old caretaker, still faithful to his employers, keeps watch of the place, armed with an axe. Pierce and Bradley manage to calm him down. Bradley did nothing, and finally get hold of the key to the Hawkins mansion. They enter the building, looking for the scene of the fire, and finding much more. Enter.
Follow me. I know the place.
Why do you
Who left this light on?
just one? Oh, four. How did I get four? Oh, right. Oh. Gotcha. I see, I see. Interesting. Sure. Didn't Crazy lady cat. Gang boss clues.
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me?
That looks disgusting. Nailed that down. Okay.
What kind of meat is this?
I agree.
This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins. The boy was probably here. Smashed his plate on the floor. Sarah Hawkins didn't eat. Was it because of the meat or something else? Something happened at this table. An argument?
Hey, Pierce. Daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door.
Next door or in the next room?
Sarah Hawkins and little Simon. The perfect picture of the middle-class family. Charles and Sarah's wedding, as painted by Sarah herself. Was Charles Hawkins some kind of explorer?
Charles Hawkins poses like an explorer in the front of exotic ruins. It is common knowledge that he wasted away his fortune on expensive trips. What am I looking for?
Too much rubble. I'll find an easier way. Let's see if I can find something the cops missed. The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others? Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How? They had a fight. Why? Did it stop at the time of the fire? Did someone escape the fire?
Can I go past there?
If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn? Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident. This was a fight. Someone fell here. A desperate attempt to flee. And the boy.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
I firmly believe this fire was more than just an accident.
What's your theory?
I suspect a crime of passion.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
This door is locked. This door is locked.
Indeed. Minor books of the occult.
These bandages are covered in dried blood. But whose? The lyrics of the drunken sailor. A sea shanty. A crowbar. Could prove useful. An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818. This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music. Moby Dick, Melville's classic. The epic battle between man and whale. Mandatory reading for any whaler, I guess. A book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century. A book on hunting whales, the island's staple diet last century. "20,000 Leagues Under the Sea." Another story about the mysteries of the deep. Dark water history. This place was settled back in 1692 by two families that seceded from the New England colonies. Greek mythology. Hecate, goddess of the dead, daughter of Tartarus, and mother of Scylla. What could Sarah have done to make this person threaten to call the police?
Dear sir, as you know, I have always held you and your family in high respect. Unfortunately, I can no longer continue to close my eyes on the behavior of your wife. Last week, she again terrified my clientele. I know that she means no harm, but you should place her in the care of Dr. Fulmer. He alone seems able to make her come to her senses. If these disturbances were to reoccur, believe me that, although it would feel like torture, I would be obliged to involve the police. Respectfully yours, Anton Willard. Willard. No missing papers.
Locked. The boys' room.
Mm-hmm.
A child's fort. From what threat was Simon protecting his world? Tom Sawyer. Mark Twain. Sarah must have read it to him before bed.
Oh, I think we found the survivor.
Sleeping pills. Strong for an 11-year-old boy. What was wrong with this family? What nightmarish vision could have inspired them? Simon's troubles went beyond family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him. What was going through that boy's mind? What will her room reveal about her? Barbiturates. Sarah Hawkins must have been extremely agitated resorting to such a treatment.
Barbiturates, they act as a depressant of the nerve systems, but once you begin, you can never live without them. Or that I know of. Or that I know of. So.
A barbiturate prescription from a certain Dr. Fuller.
Doo-dum-ching. 75 milligrams of barbiturate sodium to be taken every 4 to 6 hours as required. If attacks become too violent, add 25 milligrams of phenobarbital up to 3 times a day. Do not consume alcohol or any other medications during the period of treatment.
That's a massive dose. Was Sarah violent? Perfect.
Witchcraft, occult.
Was Sarah Hawkins interested in the occult? What was she trying to achieve?
Creepy.
This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold. It seems the last one was given for free to a Francis Sanders. I wonder why. Despite what happened, they seem to have loved each other. Sarah Hawkins' agent was getting worried. Seems she wasn't giving any signs of life.
My very dear Sarah, ever since you left to bury yourself away on the Lost Island, your art has been attracting increasing numbers of collectors. I beg you to send me some new paintings. The last ones, so somber and strange, moving as no other paintings have been, are selling at a premium price. Your percentage of these most recent sales is attached. Do not forget your friend who was the first to recognize your genius and display it to the world. Affectionately yours, Maximilian L.
Bradley? Is that you?
Is anyone there?
You! Stop!
I actually want to save right here. I'm going to stop. Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully this doesn't ruin it. But yeah, I'm going to stop here. And see you next time. Thanks for watching. I hope that saves properly. Anyway, cool. Thanks for watching, guys. As we continue.